All right, class. So this video, we are actually going to do the first two problems on homework 48 together. So if you have a printer, I want you to print out homework 48 and we're going to do number 1 and number 2 together. If you don't have a printer, it's not a problem. Just draw your best pentagon and write that the radius is 10, and we're going to go ahead and do these together. Okay, there are 4 more problems that we're not going to do together because that's review. You should be able to do that. Okay. All right, so here is the deal, okay? We have found the area of regular hexagons before, okay? And the reason we could find the area of regular hexagons is because when you drew these triangles, they were 60, 60, 60, and so we could use special triangles to find the missing sides, okay? But you might have noticed that we never used any other shape, okay? And the reason for that is because these angles right here are not 60 degrees in any other shape besides a hexagon. So if you have a pentagon or any other shape, you are going to need to use trig to find the area, which we didn't know until now, okay? All right, so there's a lot of review in these problems, which is what I kind of like. Okay, the first thing you have to do is find the sum of all the angles, okay? And remember, the formula for that is the number of sides minus 2 times 180. So that's the first step you're always going to do, okay? This one has 5 sides, so it's going to be 5 minus 2 times 180. 3 times 180 is 540 degrees, okay? So what that means is that all 5 of these angles add up to 540. But since it's a regular pentagon, all of them are the same. So you divide that by the number of angles and you get that each angle is 108. Okay, so that means that this angle is 108, this angle is 108, this angle is 108, etc. Okay, the thing we really have to know, however, okay, is we're going to try to find the area of that triangle. Hold on. Let me get my highlighter. Color. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to find just the area of this one triangle right here, okay? And then we're going to recognize that there are 5 of them. There's one there, okay, all right. So we're going to find the area of this one that I outlined, and then because there's 5 of them, we'll multiply that answer by 5. Okay, so here's the tricky part. This whole angle right here is 108, but we're only interested in this part because we need this triangle right here. Okay, because it's a regular polygon, this is going to divide that under 108 in half. So this is going to be 54 degrees, and this half would be 54 degrees, of course, making a total of 108. Okay. Remember, you can always pause a video, replay it if you need to. Okay, so remember, this whole angle right here is 108, but because this line breaks up in half, those are each 54. Okay, all right, and then to find the area of a triangle, okay, of course, you need the height and you need the base. The base is all of this. Okay, I'm going to put an X right here, and hopefully you recognize that the X is half of the base because this is X and this would be X, and together they make up the whole base. So we're going to have to do a couple trig problems. Okay, let's go ahead and find the height first. Okay, so to find H right here from the 54, this is the opposite and this is the hypotenuse. So you're going to use sine, because sine of an angle is the opposite, which we don't know, over the hypotenuse, which is what we do know. Okay, you're going to cross multiply. Okay, and then you would just type that into your calculator. Okay, so in degree mode, hold on, I'm in the wrong mode. Type in 10 sine 54 and round that to the 100. So you get 8.09 is the height of the triangle. So that's this right here, the height. Okay, but we also need the base. We can't find the whole base, but we can find half the base, which I called X right here. And of course, this is the adjacent side from the 54. So you're going to say cosine of 54 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. You're going to cross multiply. Okay, oops, I'm running out of space. Okay, I'll just move over to the side a little. And then you type in 10 10 cosine 54. Okay, and then you get that x equals 5.88. Okay, sorry, you can't see that. Let me move it up. There we go. Okay. All right, and then remember, our goal is to find the area of this one triangle. Okay, the area of a triangle is 1/2 base. Okay, now this part's pretty tricky. X right here, just this part, is 5.88, but the base has this x, okay, plus of course another x right here. Okay, so the whole base, right here, the base is double this. Okay, so we're going to double the 5.88 to find the actual base. Okay, so when you double 5.88, you get 11.76. So the base is 11.76, and the height is 8.08. Okay, when you multiply those together, okay, you get the area of the triangle is 47.57. Okay, but remember, let me show you my picture again. Okay, let's see if I can fit that in there. Oh, more than fit that in there. Okay, that 47.57, that's only the area of that one triangle. And of course, there's 5 of those, okay? So this is the area of one triangle. You need to multiply that by 5. So the total area of the pentagon is 237.85 feet squared. Okay, all right. So you will have to do this on your own in the next homework, so make sure you really understand this and go back and check your work and stuff, okay? All right, so the next problem is an octagon, okay? So a couple of the steps are going to be exactly the same. Let me draw a line here. It kind of went into my space. Okay, all right. So the things that's exactly the same is you still have to find the sum of the angles. So the sum of the angles, okay, is always that formula, n minus 2 times 180. Okay, this is a octagon, okay, so that will be 6 times 180. Okay, so the sum of all of the angles is 1080. Okay, you're going to divide that by 8 because you need to find each angle. Okay, so you're going to get that each angle, okay, is 135 degrees. So that means this one's 135, this one's 135, etc. Okay, but be careful. What we need is a triangle. So we're going to go like this, and we're going to go like this. And of course, when you draw that blue line, it cuts this angle right here in half, okay? So if that angle was 135, half of that is 67.5, okay? So the angle we're needing right here, if you can't see that, is 67.5, okay? Now, in a way, this problem's a teeny bit easier because the area of this triangle, whoops, okay, you need the base and the height, but I actually gave you the height. The height is 15. So the only thing you need in this problem is the base. And remember, the base is the whole thing, but you can break it up into 2 parts. So the base is this whole thing. Okay, but those 2 sides will be the same. So we're going to use trig to find x, which is just this little guy right here. Okay, all right, so in this problem, you know the opposite side is 15, and the adjacent side is the one you're trying to find, so that's tangent. So tangent 67.5 equals opposite, which was given us 15, over adjacent, which is x. Okay, cross multiply. Okay, you do have to divide. Okay, and then type that into your calculator. 15 divided by tangent 67.5 is 6.21. Okay, oh shoot. Sorry, group. Okay, all right, but remember, okay, the 6.21 is not the entire base is just, this part is just x, so we have to multiply that by 2 to find the base. So the base is 12.43. 12.42 would be better. Okay, all right, so now we know the base, okay? We already knew the height, it was given, so the area of one triangle is 1/2 base times height, which is given. Okay, but remember, okay, that, let me see if I can, I know I keep moving my paper, sorry. Okay, that is just the area of one of those, okay? And how, if there's 8 sides, that means there's going to be 8 of these. So there's going to be another one there, and there, and there, and there, and there, and there, okay? So you have to multiply that by 8 because there's 8 triangles, okay? Type all of that into your calculator. Hold on, let me do that real fast. So you get, okay, something weird happened, hold on. Times 15 times 8, and you get 745.2. If you can't see that, I'll move it up in a second. Feet squared. Oh, you can see it, just the tip of it, you can see. Okay. All right, I know these problems are hard. That's why I did these with you together. We're going to do another example in the next video, and then you'll have to try a couple of these in your homework by yourself. Okay? All right, so go ahead and finish 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then the next video will have a couple more examples. Okay, bye.